Welcome back everyone. So now what I'm going to do is show a sales breakdown in 2004 by country. So what we can do is we'll add a new, or actually we'll add a new pivot table into a new table. So I always just take this, add this data to data model, and then it will insert a new pivot table. Let's just first rename the sheet country overview. And what we can do then is just add country to rows, and we can get our sales value from each country, our total sales value. I'll just change it to currency. So yeah, instantly we can see USA had the highest sales value. And we could also bring in our net profit value for each country. But what we could also do is we could calculate the percentage of the sales that was net profit by dividing net profit by sales values. So we can just add this calculation next to our net profit column. So we'll do equals, and we don't want to see this get pivot data calculation. We just enter the cell value, so it's C4 divided by B4. And then if we just double click or drag down, it will autofill. So this is the percentage of the sales value that was net profit. So let's just change this number to a percentage, and just to the right we can add a decimal place if we like, and this is going to be percentage net profit. Okay, so what we can do, we'll copy our country and our sales value, and we'll paste it into a new cell on the right hand side, and let's just copy and paste our values of our percent field. So when pasting, we just want to right click, and we only want to paste the values, otherwise it will paste the calculation and reference the wrong cells. So let's just again highlight this and change it to a percentage to one decimal place. We'll name this column sales value, and this will be our country column. Okay, so I have just noticed an issue actually. You can see Norway is being displayed twice. So if we go back to our data, let's just filter the country and only show Norway. So if we just deselect the select all button, so we'll click Norway, both Norways. Yeah, so there's a trailing blank, but this, okay, so most of them seem to have a trailing blank, but there may be one here which doesn't. So what I would prefer to do, yeah, here's one that doesn't. So let's just remove the trailing blank. Okay, it looks like it's got two. And if we just copy down, then we can unfilter. And if we right click on our pivot table and refresh, you can see then the duplicate Norway disappears, and it will sum then both Norway's value into one. So now we'll just have to change our table here. We'll replace what we copied across. So I'll just delete all of this actually, and we'll copy our pivot data, paste our values across, and then we can also just copy our percentage. Okay, and we'll just do the same again, percent net profit, sales value, and country. Okay, so we can actually highlight all of this data that we've just created in our table, and on the right hand side of conditional formatting, just beside it, you can see format as table. So we can display this as a dark theme table, for example. We can also highlight our pivot table cells, right click and hide them, and then Let's highlight our whole table here and insert a column chart. So we'll start with a column chart, but I also want to display the percent net profit. So if we delete our chart title, right click the chart and change chart type, at the bottom you can see the option combo. So this will allow us to display the percent net profit on a different axis. So if we tick secondary axis, I want to change it to line with markers. So now, because percentage is a different value, it will display better. So what we can do then is order this in our table. We can either order it by sales value, largest to smallest, which means the bars will be from large to small, or we could do net profit. So I'm going to show it like net profit. Okay, and we could also add data labels. No, I won't add data labels. Or you could just add them to the line by just clicking on the line and adding data labels. But yeah, I'm just going to leave it. I'll untick them for now. Okay, so that is it for the country overview. In the next video, we'll start working on our second exercise, so I'll see you there.